Hi, my name's Martin Hale from IT Masters and Charles Sturt University. Just a brief info session about the Master of Management IT from Charles Sturt University. This Masters is aimed at people who are in an IT supervisory position or entry-level management, particularly for people who may have moved from a technical role and into a supervisory or management role. We also have an MBA Computing. That's aimed for executive level management, so it's for people that with some management experience, quite a bit preferably, and who are looking at moving into executive level or they've moved into executive level management. Let's have a look at the course structure. As with all the masters, it's 12 subjects. We don't have semesters, they call them sessions because there's 3 per year, and the recommended study load for working full-time professionals who are trying to study part-time, which everyone doing these masters is 2 subjects per session. So your first test to get into the masters is to do the maths there and come up with that the recommended duration to complete it is 2 years. On average, people take about 2.5. As you can imagine, it's pretty common for people to have to cut back at different times to one subject or take leave. We're certainly very flexible about that, and you've got at least up for 4 years duration to complete your masters. If you've got extenuating circumstances, again, that can even be extended. Okay, let's have a look at the structure of the Master of Management IT. As I said, there's total of 12 subjects. In this one there is 7 core, a lot of traditional management subjects, temporary management, managing organisational change, strategic practice, which is a big management subject in the MBA as well, marketing, and then you've got one on IT service quality management built around the ITIL and also the ISO 20000 quality management standard, and one on professional communications, which is aimed to help you improve your both interpersonal and written communications. Then we've got the first of 2 pools of electives. The first pool is what we call the academic electives, and they're management type subjects, and you pick one of those from that pool there. And then you've got the industry pool, another second set of electives. And what we've got here, which is unique to this master, is you can decide to specialise in your pool of electives in this area, and what that does is when you graduate and you get your testimony, it would have Master of Management IT, Information System Security specialisation, for instance, if that's what you've decided to do. So in order to do that, you'd need to do, as you can imagine, 4 security subjects. We'll have a look at how they're structured in a minute, but you don't have to do that. If that sounds a bit too prescriptive for you, you can just choose from across all the specialisations. Might do 1 project management, 2 networking, and 1 security or something like that. That's fine, or you obviously wouldn't have a specialisation on your testimony, but you would certainly have Master of Management IT as your degree. Just have a look at those specialisations. Remember, 4 subjects, so you choose 4 from a pool, and as you can imagine in the security one, they're all to do with cyber security. All of those subjects except for IT 525 cyber law are built around industry certification. So for instance, IT 514 professional system security is built around the CISSP cybersecurity certification, which is the most famous of all. So not only do you do the subject, but at the same time we're helping prepare you for that certification. We make sure we cover the latest core body of knowledge, and which is what's examined in that certification. If you've already got those certification, obviously you would be up for credit. We don't muck around with that. If you've got the certification, you just got to show us, and we would award you credit for it. If you want to find out about what credit you might be eligible for, just go up on the IT Masters website and fill out the Am I Eligible form. And we'll come back pretty quickly and talk about, give you a confirmation of what level of credit you would be eligible for. Let's have a look at the second of the specialisations. networking, just as you'd imagine, mainly networking, but also some security, because that's pretty important in networking. So again, you pick from that pool of 1 to 6, you've got to pick 4 of them. And the final one is a project management specialisation, very popular project management. So again, you pick from that pool of electives. Again, most of these, as with the networking ones, are built around certifications. For example, MGI 512, the project lifestyle, is the Prince 2 certification. IT 518, Agile Project Management, is built around the Project Management Institute certification in Agile Project Management. And probably the biggest one, MGI 514 and 511 to some extent, are built around the PMI, PMP certification. Mostly MGI 511 for that Project Management Fundamentals. So again, you can get credit for those if you're sitting out there and you've got some project management certifications. You can also start your Masters and claim the credit at any time right up to graduation. So we have a number of students doing that. They're studying one university subject and at the same time they're preparing for some industry certifications, and they claim the credit before they graduate. Let's have a look at some of the subjects here. This is a bit of an unusual one. Example subject, MGI 521 Professional Communications. Remember I mentioned that as part of the core subjects. Learning objectives around interactive, best of breed type of theory around how people communicate. And also then you get a chance, we actually cover the theory and quite a few different theories on how people, fascinating stuff, and then you get a chance to practice that in terms of putting together presentations and doing a dummy presentation to a virtual type group. A number of people look, especially in IT, they struggle with that. It's not a strong suit of theirs, but I can assure you, I don't know how many people have come up and said that's the most valuable subject we did at graduation. I said, well, I just picked up so much and I use it all the time. So even if you're already a good communicator, this can turn you into an excellent one. And if you're really struggling in that area, I absolutely think this is the most valuable subject we've got, because it'll get you to stage providing you do the work, where you can get up and be a confident presenter. How do we assess that? It's a big question everyone asked. Well, how's it assessed? Well, then we start off with, let's test the theory. So remember I said we cover the theory to start off with. So this is communication best practice. Well, let's do a short online test it is, which you do at home. And we just want to test that you've picked up the theories required. Then you've got to get to work and develop a presentation against a scenario. You're developing, presenting an IT or project management solution. And then you do your presentation, which is done virtually. And they look for things like, as you can imagine, being clear, key skills, and some of the tactics you use in live presentations. Again, look, you might find that a bit daunting, but I can assure you absolutely invaluable stuff for your career. So we talked a lot about bringing this subject in, and there was a fair bit of opposition, but again, I see so many people come up and say it's the most valuable thing they did. Let's have a look at it quickly. Another one. This is what we call an industry subject. Built around certification, as you imagine. So IT 527 server administration, the certification is the MCSA. Again, a very, very well-known certification for Windows Server 2012. So there's it prepares you for those exams during the subject. You're studying the theory and doing labs, the typical Microsoft type networking labs. There's the learning objectives. Again, very similar to what you'd see on the Microsoft website for MCSA certification. I suppose the difference here is because we can, you actually get to demonstrate that you can do, as distinct from you understand. Excuse me. So you're actually getting to and designing a directory solution, for instance, and submitting it. So rather than all built on a multi-choice assessment, you actually submit. And that's demonstrated in the assessment. You do some labs, and you've got to get through those. There are some online labs, 15%. You design a network, and you're assessed on the design that you come up with, and then there's a final exam, which is a combination of multi-choice and short answer. When can you start? 3 intakes a year. They're outlined there. And finally, if you've got any questions, you can email inquiries@itmasters.edu.au. I think I'll leave it there. I thank you for coming along, and good luck with whatever you decide to do for the future. Thanks very much.